Hello, my name is Dorothea Rosen. I'm a goldsmith in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I forgot to plug in my mic, so I hope you can still hear me. Today I'm going to talk again about diamond sourcing. I just as a follow-up to last week's live because I attended yet another seminar on responsible sourcing and found out that there are many things that you might not know still. So I wanted to say a few more things. So for one thing, last week I kind of focused on Russian diamonds, how we don't want to support that. But I just want to make sure that I've mentioned, I did mention this briefly, but there are other conflict zones where diamonds come from for sure. There are a lot of places in Africa especially. There are some better countries, but like Botswana and Namibia, but places like Merengue, Zimbabwe, Angola especially, there's some real problems. And what I wanted to explain is about I basically want to explain to you why you should ask questions and not take any kind of claims at their face value without asking further questions. For example, so I'm going to explain a little bit about the history. In 2003, the Kimberley Process of Certification was put in place after a 3-year process of trying to figure out how to stop blood diamonds from entering the major markets. So the United Nations signed a resolution, and as a result, this Kimberley Process certification was put in place. And this is good because from a quarter of the world's diamonds being mined causing bloodshed, it went down to about 5 to 10%. And that's good. But what you want to be careful about with the Kimberley Process, and this is where you want to ask the questions, is that the Kimberley certification really only means that, so what they understand under conflict-free is that the mining of those diamonds has not helped rebel groups try to topple governments. That sounds good. But if you look at the detail of it, for example, in Zimbabwe in 2008, there was an incident where the army seized diamond deposits, diamond mine, and over like thousands of people were, 200 miners were killed, and thousands of people were injured, raped, and enslaved. And the reason that wasn't a problem with the Kimberley Process is because it wasn't a rebel group trying to overthrow a government. It was a governmental, they were governmental soldiers. So you can see how this gets like super tricky, and you do have to ask a lot of questions. So that's the main thing I want to bring across today. If somebody says, oh, this diamond is fine because it comes from a Kimberley Process certified country, that is not at all necessarily conflict-free. There are many human rights violations that might have and abuses that might have taken place in the mining of that diamond. And as I said last week, the traceability isn't there unless they're Canadian diamonds, which I also mentioned. So the other thing I wanted to briefly mention is just even with lab-grown diamonds, I know, full disclosure, I have some lab-grown diamonds in my collection. I purchased them believing that they are more environmentally friendly, and I'm starting to ask questions. Lab-grown diamonds are a lot more affordable in the larger sizes, and that's nice because they are real diamonds, and we like real diamonds for their hardness, as well as some other things. But it's still good to ask questions. Are they traceable or not? And I'm still doing my learning with this. I continue to ask my suppliers, and I want to encourage you to ask yours. I still maintain that I feel good about the Canadian diamonds the best, just like I feel the best about my certified Eco Gold even though I also use recycled gold, which I feel pretty good about. But, continue to learn. Let's continue to inform ourselves and learn more. And especially, please ask your jewelers questions, just like in your grocery store, you ask where the produce comes from. The more you ask, the more they care about sourcing it well and locally and so forth. So please ask your jewelers questions. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you next week.